Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is BlueChipSim, and we've got another great flight for you today. So today we are in a Qantas 747. This is actually going to be a two-part flight, two-part video, one long flight. So it's going to be, the first leg is going to be New York, JFK, to Los Angeles, LAX, and then we're going to go from LAX all the way down to Sydney, Australia. So we're going to get both those videos going starting now. So we are here on stand 10 at Terminal 7 at JFK. We are working on loading bags right now. Actually, they're not doing anything. Oh, they're boarding passengers now. We're waiting on bags, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and get in the cockpit here. And going to go ahead and set things up. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and align the IRSs and then get our nose down into the FMC. Alright, so FS actions here. Looks like we are, alright, cool, we are on kilograms. So our weight today is going to be 245.7 thousand kilograms. Puts us over our gross weight, but that's because we haven't done the fuel yet. We're not going to be using anywhere near that much fuel. We're only going to be using 67,973 kilograms of fuel. So we're using 37.2% of our load. But for our 747, it's a 5-hour flight. It's pretty short. Put this on the doors page and then start over here on this FMC. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is initialize our position. So copy here the GPS position and put it in. Get our, now that that's aligned, we're going to flip these to nav and then get back down in there and work on our route. So like I said before, we are here at KJFK, JFK Airport. We're not going to worry about gate because it usually doesn't work. And we did create a route in PFPX, so KJFK, KLAX 02, and we're going to go ahead and load that in. Works a lot better to use the loaded in routes than it does to type them in, especially when you're using the longer routes. So it's going to help us a whole lot when we cross the Pacific and go down to Sydney. Alright, so we're going to put in our flight number next, and it's going to be QF, oh shoot, did that early, QF12 is our flight number here. Go ahead and activate that, and we're going to set up our departure. So we're using the Grecki for departure. Going to runway 31 right, and we will actually not be using this judge transition. We're going to be doing a direct as soon as we are done with the route. So next up here, we're going to go to legs, and then we're going to go to route data, and we're going to go ahead and load in our winds. Execute. Alright, we go ahead and do our descent forecast, see if it actually works. A lot of the times it doesn't work for me for some reason. I have a feeling it's not going to, and no, invalid forecast uplink. I may have made this flight plan too long ago, but that's alright. So, like we said before, our zero fuel weight is 245.7 thousand kilograms. And our final fuel reserves are going to be 4.3 thousand kilograms and the standard Qantas cost index of 100. Next up on this page is the initial cruising altitude. So we are going to step a couple times, but what we put here is just whatever the initial altitude is. And then we're going to let the airplane calculate the steps instead of following our flight plan. But hopefully they'll be very similar. So thrust limitations, we're going to be doing a takeoff to derate, and then doing a 31 degree assumed temperature takeoff. Now that we're on takeoff, we are going to be using flaps 20, and we're going to let PFPX do its thing with the trim, and then we are going to accept these V speeds as well. 139, 149, and 161. That's exactly what my flight plan says. Once we get hydraulics into the plane, we'll go ahead and set up the trim, but for right now, we are pretty close to being done setting this up. The 747 is always pretty quick. So we're going to go throw this up all the way to flight level 360, clear ourselves there. The heading of the runway is 315. Go ahead and set that to our runway heading. We are actually almost parallel to the runway right over there right now. And we're going to set this to our V2 plus 20. Flight directors on, arm LNAV and VNAV. And we're going to use the B trick to get our pressure right. Looks like it's 30.0, so just 30. Alright, so now that that is good, let's check on the status of GSX. Baggage loading is in progress. So that means we can go in here and close the passenger door. And we're also going to turn on the APU so that we can get moving relatively quickly. Setup is pretty simple, so what we're going to do is I'll come out here and do a quick taxi briefing. So we're going to push back with our nose to the right, facing that way, come out here and get on the Bravo taxiway and take Bravo all the way down to the end of the runway, which right now we are a little bit over halfway down the runway, so we've got a little bit of a taxi. But, oh, now you can hear the APU starting up. Let's go listen to that for a second. Okay, well, what is with this baggage loading? GSX, what do you think you're doing? Alright, that's getting kind of loud. Let's get back in the cockpit now. Alright, so we're going to go to the ground connections. We're actually going to go ahead, well, we're going to make sure that the, go ahead and turn the APU gens on, and now release the ground power. That would have been quite annoying if we'd not. So we're going to go ahead and release that as well. The air conditioning unit. And now all we're really doing is waiting on GSX to finish the loading process, baggage loading. And then we can get pushback started. So we're actually going to go ahead and queue up pushback. I believe it might ask about de-icing later because the temperature is a little bit chilly here, but we'll get there when we get there. Hopefully we don't have to sit around and wait too long for the de-icing truck to come by. Alright, so the rear cargo door is, or the rear cargo is just about done, and front cargo, as it goes through the body of the plane, has one more to go. Way over here. So the trucks are here, the bags are loading here. The bag and the, man, I don't know. This is some wonky stuff going on right here. Oh, you can see it right there. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's just... Alright. So as we're waiting for this last bag, just want to remind you, don't forget to drop a like down there for the video. If we can get this video to 10 likes, that would be awesome. And if you really do like it, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. I am trying to come out with weekly content, and I don't want to make too many promises, but I think the second leg of this video might come out this Saturday. So the LAX to Sydney. It really depends on if I have the time for a 15-hour flight. So no promises, but I want to get it out next Friday. Alright. What are we working on here? So we're almost done there, and then we can finally get on the road. Departure clearance requested, waiting for other services to complete. So like I said before, we are doing the Grecki for departure. So coming out of runway 31 right, the Grecki for departure. Let's see, where does it take us? Alright, I see. We're going to be, looks like, taking a right out of here. Or no, we are taking a left. This is a weird chart. Alright. Alright, we are going to go nose right. And now we'll start engines during pushback. Alright, cool. Oh shoot. We gotta close all the doors too. Close all. Parking brake. And we'll go ahead and remove those ground shocks as well. There we go. Arm all as well. That's weird. Why was the plane pushing back on it? Huh. That's really weird. As soon as I removed the ground shocks, it just started moving backwards. I'm not doing anything. Ah! That's hilarious. Huh. And the doors are back open as well. Prepare for pushback and departure, or use American Airlines. Nose right. No, I'll start my engines during. This is really odd. Let's go make sure those doors are closed. Close, close, close. Not exactly sure why those doors opened back up and when I started pushing. Alright, here we go. Now he's going in to lock the gear. Cool. So he is going in to lock the gear. Going to arm all the doors. They should now be armed. Double check that there. Alright. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and take care of the overhead panel. Put on all the fuel pumps, and I believe we're supposed to turn on one of the hydraulic pumps as well. Okay. Alright, no, stabilizer's not moving yet. Alright, now we can release the parking brake. And we're starting to move. So, here we go. Let's get a better view on this thing. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and start these two. We're going to start the engines number 3 and 4. Let's go outside and listen to them spool up. Fortunately, we do have auto start on this thing, because honestly I'm not sure if I've flown a 747 without auto start, so I don't know the startup procedure that well. Alright. There we go. Fuel in. Such a beautiful plane. Unfortunately, we're going to be doing a night flight the entire time, but I think the arrival, because the departure from LAX will be a nighttime departure as well, but I think the arrival into Sydney will be in the morning or mid-afternoon, so we will have some sunlight at a certain point. Alright, go ahead and turn those pumps on, and we'll go ahead and start engines 1 and 2 as well, as the 3 and 4 starters turn themselves off. And we're done moving, so we'll go ahead and throw on the parking brake so that GSX can let us go. Oh yes, I should start this clock over here to keep track of our block time, and then I'll need to remember to use this clock as well. And turn on the final hydraulic system. Wait, we need to make sure our beacon's on. And then we'll get landing lights in just a sec. Alright. GSX is getting out of the way, so we can go ahead and start our taxi. So now we're actually going to turn the dome lights off, make this cockpit a little bit darker, as we plan on beginning our taxi soon. We are going to do a quick flight controls check, so we're going to go full right, full left, full forward, full back, rudder right, and rudder left. Alright, finally we're going to flaps 20 and set our trim to about 6.5. There we go, trim set. And finally, where's the auto brake knob? One second, I'm going to turn the dome light back on, because I know the auto brake knob changes based on the configuration, there we go, of the aircraft. I know sometimes it's up here. Alright, dome light can come back off, and we can get on our way. Throw a little bit of power in. It says FMC message, but I do not see one. I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the APU. See, it's not giving me an FMC message right now. Alright, so we're going to turn right here. Slow down in the turn. Cut it a little bit too short. Taxiing this thing is quite the beast. And I realized we don't have our taxi lights on. Do that as well as the runway turnoffs. What is that FMC message? Not really sure what it is. So the packs are on. Everything seems to be on that needs to be on. So I'm not really sure what the message is. It did give me a zone temp warning earlier, but I cleared that, and I'm not sure why the temperature would be a little wonky, but looks like the TCAS was already set to TARA. It must be a Qantas SOP to always leave it on that. I did get this texture from Tavers, so he makes some pretty high fidelity livery repaints. Go ahead and turn on the strobe. Alright, RAS, thank you. I think I'm approaching 22 right.
Approaching 22 right.
Thank you, again. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get on here at taxiway Yankee. So flip all those landing lights on, taxi lights off, take a left, and we're going to get on the runway.
Approaching 3, 1 right.
You gonna tell me 4 times? Hey, no, they're not. Alright, and we're going to do a straight out departure here. So we're going to go ahead and start the clock. And as soon as we're lined up, we're going to hit Toga. Engines seem to be stable.
3, 1 right.
And Toga.
Approaching 3, 1
Oh, those engines are beautiful. Alright, we're going to get back in the cockpit now. 100 knots. Since I missed the 80 knot call out, I'll use 100. Alright, V1. Rotate. And positive rate, gear up. And we're going to go ahead and put in the autopilot, because I want to see these views. Oh, good lord, that is beautiful. Oh, look at the New York skyline down there. At the risk of getting a good screenshot, I think, there we go. I'm probably over my flaps maneuvering speed. I'm actually right at, because the 747 is smart and doesn't oh, look, all the water's frozen. Nice. It is winter here. Yeah, the 747 is smart and doesn't take the speed over your flap speed. There we go, another flaps up. Oh, that looks beautiful right there. Oh. Can't imagine the frames when I'm looking into downtown New York, though, or in Manhattan. They're not bad, though. Got a lot of wind noises. We have a 14-knot headwind, so that's understandable. And flaps all the way up now. We are good to climb. We're just gonna sit back, relax, and watch us climb out. So we're gonna get down here on the progress page, see what we are looking at. So to top a climb, 2344. It is currently 2330. Somehow I don't see us getting to top of climb in 2344. Sorry, misread that. I thought it was telling us we were going to get to top of climb in 4 minutes. No, 91 nautical miles, 93 nautical miles. Constantly updating, but that's alright. So, let's go into our legs page and see if it's calculated any step climbs for us. Yeah, looks like 360 to 390. That's kind of weird that it's moving us to an odd altitude. And that's the only step it's got. So I'm actually going to look into that once we get up to cruise. Figure out why it's stepping us up to an odd numbered altitude. Actually, now that I think about it, well, we're going west. West, I believe, is odd altitudes. Or even altitudes, sorry. Not odd. It's interesting. We are going over 250 under 10,000 miles, but oh my, that has got to be a frame killer, but that's also a killer screenshot. You can see the Statue of Liberty down there. Look at all that lighting, that night lighting. That right there is the beauty of the FTX Vector and night lighting configurator. Right there. Alright. I'm just trying to get all the different screenshot angles possible. Alright, well, we are at 10,000 feet, so we're going to turn off all the landing lights. We're also going to go ahead and turn off the wing and logo lights. Sometimes I like to leave them on because they just look so beautiful outside. But with that, I am going to let you guys go, let you enjoy a little bit of the cruise, and then I will see you back in about 5 hours when it's time to plan descent. So enjoy the cruise, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye now.